Hi, everybody. My name is not Christine. It's Doreen, and I am here instead of Christine, who had surgery today, and she asked me to host her show. So I'm here today with my guest, Azure, and we are excited to talk to you today about content. I'll tell you a little bit more about myself, and then I'll let Azure introduce herself. My name is Dorien Morin-van. I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Christine and I met last year at Inbound, where we were both speakers. And it was really fun once we met up and we realized that both of us serve a very similar market. We both work with local small businesses. And she's in New York, of course, as you know, and I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So we've actually started to collaborate a little bit, and we're going to do a 3-day challenge, which I'll tell you more about at the end. But we want you to join it. So once Azure speaks, I'm going to give you that link in the comments so you can go check it out. It's called How to Social. And we want you to join, and we want you to invite small business owners who are struggling maybe with content, because that's what this is all about. We're going to do a very easy 3-day challenge, then a free webinar to teach you some really cool stuff that both Christine and I implement in our business, as well as in the businesses of our clients. So I'm going to turn it over to Azure and let her tell you a little bit about what she does, because she's also into content, although a little bit different, right?
Yeah, a little bit different. Hi, guys. I'm Azure Collier. I'm the content marketing manager for a startup called Tripleseat. I always have to kind of explain the name a little bit. It's spelled like this, Tripleseat, like chair. So we are a restaurant tech company. Our software is event management software. And so restaurants use our software to streamline the event planning process for their private dining programs. And that can be anywhere from, somebody having a small little private dining party for their family and friends, to wedding receptions, to networking parties, to full-blown, conferences that they're hosting, part of that going on in their restaurant, hotel, or unique venue. So I've been at Tripleseat. It'll be 2 years this summer. I came there from Constant Contact, where I did the social media networks and the blog the last part of the time I was there. So really excited to be in the restaurant industry. It's a lot of fun. It's very delicious.
I love that.
And I'm actually here. We work from home on Fridays at Tripleseat. So I am coming to you from my apartment in Brooklyn, New York. And I'm going to apologize in advance if there's any cats walking in front of the computer. I tried to set it up so they're napping and leaving me alone, but you can't control.
I was just going to say, I also work from my own office, and I have 4 dogs. The cool thing about dogs is that you can put them in a crate, because mine are crate trained. So I walk them, and I gave them a treat, and they're sleeping right now. They're having a little nap, because otherwise they'd be all over here as well. Although they're too big to jump on my desk, but yeah, for sure. But we'd love to see one of your cats come by. I think that would be fun.
One of them's been a little bit ornery this morning. I filled up my water for this, and she drank out of it, so I had her get water a second time. So she's causing trouble today, so you might see one of them.
Oh, okay. Cool. Super cool. Super cool. So Christine, I know you will be watching this on the replay, so we just want to wish good wishes to you and speedy recovery.
Speedy recovery, Christine.
That's a tough surgery to have as an adult, I think. Tonsillectomy. I had it done when I was 4, and I don't remember. So I think I recovered fine and quickly, but I think that's what kids do. So wish you all the best and speedy recovery.
If it's anything like having your wisdom teeth taken out, oh boy, poor. Give it to Christine.
All right, so we're going to get started. The first thing that Azure and I are going to talk about today is the announcement that came this morning. It was first announced in the New York Times, and then about it, that Facebook is going to link all their messaging apps, which includes WhatsApp and Instagram. And they're going to take away the encryption code, I think they said, so it'll be easier to have them all connected. And what does that mean? What do you think, Azure? What is that going to mean for us?
Oh, it looks like they are adding encryption across all the services. I don't know much about the encryption part of it, but so it looks like this is a great way to create kind of a customer service console or dashboard. And I know we're talking to small businesses here who don't probably have a marketing staff, but as you get a little bit bigger and maybe you have somebody that's just handling the customer service end of it, or the different roles that you can have people on the different networks, like maybe there's someone who's not creating the content but they're handling the questions. This is a great way to just have all that in their that tool for them to just get in there and help people with their customer service issues. And I see a lot of businesses starting to use WhatsApp more, which is pretty interesting.
Right.
I work with so the pet sitting company I use when I'm out of town. That's how I talk to the pet sitters, through WhatsApp. That's how I give her information about what to do or what's going on, and she sends me updates and pictures and stuff like that. With Messenger, it's gotten so much more robust for businesses, where they've added chatbots and things like that. So I think that's going to be such a useful tool if you've got a company that's using any combination of 2 or more of these apps, to have that all together.
Oh, I totally agree. And I actually just hosted a webinar with Larry Kim, who is the owner of Mobile Monkey, in a Facebook group that I'm the community manager for.
Yeah.
And it was very enlightening. I mean, I am on the customer service side, and customer satisfaction side. So I use a bot to answer questions all day long, but I never build one or set it up. But he was showing us how you can use chatbots for sales and how to get more traffic to your blogs and segment email lists and all those kind of things. So it was really interesting. So this morning when the announcement came, Larry said in his Facebook group, he's like, that's wonderful news, because now the chatbot will be able to be engaged with all of those different segments. So once you have a chatbot built on Facebook, you can also talk to people on WhatsApp and Instagram, and they're working on that. He actually in the webinar kind of said, like, yeah, we're hoping it will come out that the chatbot will be able to be integrated with Instagram this year. But this would open it all up, including WhatsApp. And WhatsApp, if you don't know what it is, if you're an American who doesn't necessarily have a lot of friends overseas, then it might be something that's not of that much interest to you. But my family's in the Netherlands, and we have been using WhatsApp for like 10 years, way before Facebook bought it, because that was the free text messaging app. Messaging rates were really, really high in Europe. And because it wasn't a free enterprise in the Netherlands, at least. And so the price was really high to send a text message. So people use this free app, and it's been around forever. So right now, all of my Dutch friends and family are on WhatsApp, and that's the only way I communicate with them. So it's big in Asia as well. So to be able to combine all of that, be able to reach a whole new audience is super exciting.
That's pretty great.
Working in the service industry and customer service industry, it'll probably mean more behind the scenes customer service through bots and messaging than we already are seeing.
And it means set this up now, because when this launches next year, you'll have everything, you'll have your automatic answers set up, your links set up, especially with something like Instagram, where, I see so much engagement on Instagram over a lot of the other networks, and a lot of people are selling right now, and, a bot can make the difference between a sale or no sale if somebody has a question and they're not going to buy unless you get to them right away.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's really, really great. So yeah, get somebody to build the bot, or build the bot, get a company. And there's different choices, but I really liked what I saw with Mobile Monkey, and I have to honestly say, I really like their customer service and their team. So that was a good thing. If you have a question, they were readily available. So that was super supportive. So that was kind of the big news this morning that we didn't plan on talking about, but I think it's very, very exciting. And then we were going to talk a little bit about content, and Azure. You just kind of told me, in the green room, what you've been doing preparing for 2019. You want to share a little bit on your process and what you do to get ready for content for 2019?
Yeah. So everybody, preparing for the new year, it's really important to look back on the previous year and what did you do and what was successful and what worked for you. This is going to help you develop a plan for the coming year and to really make better use of your time, not creating content or spending time on things that just didn't connect with your audience. And, that's okay. That's how we learn to get better. You put things out there, something doesn't work. Cool, it doesn't work, and then you focus on the things that do connect with your audience.
Sure.
So what I do with each of my networks that I run for Tripleseat, I do a monthly report about growth and what content worked and what was popular and what happened and what can we do next. And so at the end of the year, I have all those monthly presentations that I can put it together and take a look over the past year, what was working for us. And then what I want to do is I usually take like the top 10 posts per month and just, look at what are the trends? What was the type of content? Was it video, or was it blog post links, or was it talking about our customers or certain topics in the industry? But then I also look at, okay, the top 10 posts for each network, what were the dates and what were the times of those posts? And so looking across the year, that'll start to give me a feeling of when I should be posting on which network. And with Facebook, I, try to post no more than twice a day. So this is going to help me, okay, each day of the week, what times, and I try to put at least 2 slots up there for Facebook. And Twitter, I've got a couple slots. So I go through that and I fill the slots or make more if I need to, if I saw that more content was working. And so then I've got a daily and weekly calendar that I can rely on.
I was just going to ask you, so you have these 12 reports and you're making a year-end report and you're moving forward. Are you doing this in a Google Doc? Are you doing it as in a scheduling tool? Are you sharing this in a team? How are you practically, I guess, putting it into action if you want to?
Yeah, we use HubSpot to post to our social networks. So and in there you can easily create some time slot schedules for them. For something like Twitter, that's really great because you can find something you want to link to or post or create a new post and then schedule it for the next available time slot and you're covered. So that works well for me. I post to for other things like Pinterest, I use Tailwind for Pinterest and Instagram. And so for Tailwind, it just surveys your networks and it's like, here's what worked for you time-wise. So it'll just do it for you.
I've used that tool before and I love that.
I love that. So those 2 networks are super easy. But for the rest, I go through and I just kind of write those down and just, okay, I sit back and look at the pattern and, okay, these days were bigger, these times were bigger. So those are the designated posting days and times for me.
Okay. So that's a really good thing to do. So in order to move forward and think about what you want to do this coming year, you need to look back at what worked last year and what didn't work last year. So it's kind of a downtime, even though everybody's really excited. This is like the month of, I usually pick a theme for clients that I work with. If they don't know what to post content, I go, well, January is renewal. Think about all the new things. Think about, a new year, new beginning, new habits. But then you really should be looking ahead to February and March, because if this is a kind of a slower time in your business, and some local businesses know that, certain times of the year are slower, and usually January, February is pretty slow, depending on your industry, that this would be a good time to plan some of that content for February and March. So one of the themes that I pick every year for February, of course, is love or red or, give, something that is that ties in with Valentine's Day, which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And then in March, depending on when the holidays fall, you could think about Lucky March, March 17, or you can think about March Madness. Of course, you can't really use that.
No.
But you can use craziness or whatever, basketball reference. There's different things. So even if you can't schedule all the content, you could think about, getting a calendar out and picking your themes for each month right now in January. That will make it so much easier to gather things.
That's a great idea. I do that too. And I look, and I have a couple of projects I like to do quarterly. So things like maybe a survey or an infographic or, just some kind of where you get some data and you release it and you show some trends or a downloadable piece of content. So those goals are great too, to set like one big thing. It could be quarterly, it could be monthly, however much manpower you got. to get those out and look ahead. And then the rest of the industry we work with, the restaurant industry, there's all kinds of stuff going on where there's, things to look at around maybe the Super Bowl and food and restaurants and Valentine's Day and wedding season and graduation season. And one interesting fact that I learned coming into this industry that is Mother's Day is the busiest day for restaurants of the year.
I did not know that. I would not have thought that.
Because everybody takes mom out to lunch or brunch so she doesn't have to cook. Makes total sense. Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense, I guess. Yeah. And it's all the same day because it's that same Sunday. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So looking ahead at those times where you know that there's going to be some kind of trend or something that always happens in your industry that everybody's going to be looking for, and planning ahead and getting that in there so that when people search for that information, you're going to come up first in your blog or wherever it is you're sharing the content.
All right. That's really good. And then, so once you have kind of looked ahead and have a theme and, you kind of know what you're going to talk about each month or have an idea and then the type of content. What I like to do, and I think this is a tip that I'm sure Christine has given before, but batching content is a really good idea. If you need a video or want a video once a month or twice a month, you should not be taking that video camera out and setting it up constantly. You really need to, lay out maybe 3 months worth of videos. So 6 videos, you're going to do 2 a month in one morning or one afternoon. Set it all up, and batch it and have them ready to go out for the other months, but only spend those few hours creating that video content and then take time to edit and all that stuff later. But I think that batching content is a concept that a small business owner who's busy, they're in their business, not necessarily working on their business, might have a little bit of a harder time wrapping their head around.
Yeah.
But I think it would be like a really good thing to start doing. And here's another tip that I'm going to give. And I usually do this when I speak to local businesses, is to start creating what I call is your own branded stock photo portfolio for your business.
Such a great idea. We're trying to do that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of having to buy stock photos or looking through free places that give you
which are great, but
but everybody else is using them.
I've seen the same restaurant photo 3 times this week that I've used on a blog post before.
Yeah, exactly. So instead of that, be mindful and get your team involved and have an ongoing list of pictures that you're looking for. So, and I'll use this as an example. I have a client who is a local soccer club. When I started, there was no social media. So over the last 4 years, I have been on the sideline watching my own children play soccer, of course. And initially I was taking pictures of my own child, but I'm the social media manager. So at some point my husband had the camera. I'm like, you know what? While you were there, get me a picture of the flag, of the referee from the back, soccer cleats, soccer ball, empty net, full net, sideline from a distance, the lines, the concession stand, and it just went on. And I started making this list. And then when he downloaded the pictures from me, he tagged them, he put them in a Dropbox folder. I now have hundreds of stock photos that were free that are really good quality that we've built up. They're ours, but because that's my client, I share that with them. And that's just a service that I provide. But if you're a small business owner, think ahead to 4th of July comes up every year.
Yeah.
So this year during 4th of July, take those pictures of the flag, of the parade, so you can use it next year when it comes back up and you don't have to buy. And then you have a genuine photo that nobody else on the internet is using that is unique to your business. Maybe you can throw your brand in there somewhere and start building that up, because social media is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It takes forever, right? So think about the long-term results of content as well and make it evergreen. But I think that creating that your own branded stock photo file and starting it today, think about how many pictures you would have at the end of the year. And if you are a procrastinator and still have your holiday stuff up in your store or in your house, this is a great time to take pictures for next year for Christmas. Then you don't have to dig it out early.
Yeah, that's a good excuse to have this stuff up still this point of the year.
Sure. Let's call it that, right? Oh, that's awesome. So, anything else that that you want to add to that? How to get ready for 2019? Do you see any trends coming up, or any big event that's happening that people have to be aware of? You know, across the world, or you know, in the United States, there's no big election this year, so we're not, you know, talking about politics online as much. You know, of course, you have all the regular holidays. You see anything else coming up that you know, people might be saying, well, you know, jump in on that. I guess, this is not a year of the Olympics either, right? 2019.
No, it's not. No.
No,
Yeah, like no big worldwide
no
event
big.
that you can kind of tag your, you know, your
Yeah,
brand along with,
yeah,
but
there's no World Cup in soccer. Because those are some of the things that when you plan content, you want to think ahead and look ahead and how that fits into your industry and your business. Even if you're a small shop, if you're a small soccer store and the World Cup's coming, you've gotta, you
yeah,
know, you've
you're
got to
all
be
eyes are
part
on
of
you.
that. Yeah, for sure. So
Well, I just see in general, I just Instagram. I think it's the one that we get the most engagement out of. It's not slowing down. You know, people are getting really frustrated with Facebook, and you know, not going to go into all the troubles and you know and things that people have been dealing with Facebook. But I mean, Instagram is a place where it's very particular. You don't post every image you've taken on your iPhone on Instagram. You post the ones that are good, that look good, that say something, that means something. And you know, at least in the restaurant industry, and I've seen this in retail too, that people are trying to be Instagrammable. Like, as you know, restaurants go, there are places that, you know, some of our customers have built Instagrammable spaces, like places that look really, really cool that you and your friends want to take photos in front of. Or they're changing the lighting because, hey, you know, I know it's a cliche. Yeah, you post what you had for breakfast, but if what you had for breakfast is gorgeous and delicious, yeah, post that.
yeah, sure.
Restaurants want to see the photos of their food, so they're making better lighting in their restaurants. Or sometimes, if they're a really, you know, well-known place for these social media influencers, they'll get out, like, you know, they'll have equipment you can borrow from them to like set it up and take those great food pictures. I
Wow.
mean, it's money for them. It's a money making thing. So yeah, why not invest in a couple of, you know, little tripods for phones or lighting or something like that? If people are going to see that and come in and, you know, purchase food from your restaurant, like, why not go for it
That's a
and see what
great idea. I've
happens?
never
Yeah.
even heard of that. I love that idea. We can totally use that with local. So if you're a local pizza shop, a local ice cream store, a local Italian restaurant, and you have influencers coming in that take pictures of your food, or sometimes have, encourage them by getting the little tripods, by getting maybe the lights that they can
Mm-hmm.
clip on, or little signs. You see behind me, I have a sign with
Yep.
my hashtag. You can get a couple of signs made, or, you know, funny Facebook emojis, or, you know, any emojis, and have people take pictures with that, with your hashtag. Or I think that's great. And you can probably give it a kind of a cool name, like media
Yeah.
kit. You know, borrow our media kit and take
Yeah,
pictures.
absolutely. I
Oh,
mean,
I
it's a
love that.
small investment you can make, you know, if it's just something like the lighting, or maybe you get a local artist to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I mean, how
mean,
much does that cost? You know,
eight
not much probably.
dollars,
Yeah.
$8, and it lasts probably 100 times, and then it breaks.
Yeah.
But, you know,
You could
that's
get somebody to paint something cool on your wall, or take a great photo, or, you know, or put something that represents your town that, you know, is, you know, kind of turns you into a landmark. And then guess what? Free content. All these photos you don't have to take. And
right.
people want the business to share their photos, and you tag the customer and they tell all their friends, and they're like, look at this store posted my photo. So all those people are going to see that and come in and buy from you.
Yeah, so that's called user-generated content.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never heard that term, UGC, user-generated content, it's when other people talk about you, which is always, just
That's
about
what you
always
want.
better than you talking about your product. So
Mm-hmm.
having other people talk about your product reaches their audience, and you know, makes their friends want to eat your food or buy your product too. So you want as much as that as you can, and you want to encourage that. So I love that. Well, let's leave at that note. That
Okay.
was something that I'd never heard, Azure. That's awesome. Probably
Well,
happening in the
come to New York, I'll take you to the Instagrammable restaurants.
Oh, I will. I will. That's probably, I was going to say, it's probably because I live in a smaller town, but it's going to come to Myrtle Beach now. I'm going to like make these media kits and
Do
get
it
in the restaurants. I love it. All right. That was a great idea. Well, once again, if you're a small business owner and you're watching this and you want to learn more about content, how to create it, where to put it, when to post it, some tools, all those things, Christine and I are doing a 3-day challenge, February 5th through February 7th. It's called How to Social. The link is in the comments. Join, sign up. The group is already open. There's a couple people in there. Join us in the group. You can ask questions now. Then when the challenge is on, it'll be 3 easy pieces of content that we're talking you through on how to create. And then we're going to go to a free webinar. So sign up with that link below. We'd love to have you join us for this 3-day. And again, it's only 3 days because we know our audience. We know you, the busy business owner. You don't have time for a 30-day challenge. You don't have time even for a 5-day challenge. So it's going to be very, very, very simple. And it's content that you can create with a smartphone. It's as easy as that. So join, and then once you join, tag your friends. You probably, if you're a local business owner, you network, we know that you know other people who own businesses. So tag them, get them involved as well, because creating content is more fun with friends. So thank you, Azure, for being here today. Christine, we love you. Feel better. And we'll talk to y'all soon. And thanks for Christine, actually, for letting us be on her page. Really enjoyed it. It was really fun. See you later, everybody.
All right. Have a good weekend.